everyone. Welcome you all to Muhammad Qasim's live channel. Today's discussion is about Muhammad Qasim's dreams and the message that it has for the scholars, for the Muslim Ummah, and the Muslim leaders in general. And we will be discussing these dreams of Muhammad Qasim from the context of the evidence in Quran and Hadith. Now, many times I have come across people who have commented, who have shown concern that they should not believe in the dreams of Muhammad Qasim and that the Quran and Sunnah is enough for them. Well, I would like to point out that there is clear evidence in the Quran and Sunnah about the importance of dreams and how dreams have shaped history in the past, in the present, and they will continue to do so in the future as well. So we begin first with our discussion about Muhammad Qasim's dreams. We will first look at the historical aspect of the dreams and how they have shaped history. Then we will discuss about the evidence in the Quran and the Hadiths about the importance of dreams. And then we will look at what clear messages exist in Muhammad Qasim's dreams, the messages that come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the Muslim Ummah. Well, first of all, we all have dreams. Some of us see nightmares. Others may see blessed dreams about themselves, our lives, our family members. But rarely do we see dreams about our community, about our society, or about our nation, or entire civilization. Yet we know about individuals from our history who have seen dreams that have changed the entire context of history, entire context of civilizations and generations in the past. So it is established in history that dreams have played a very critical role in delivering divine messages to the people. And these divine messages have not always come to prophets, but they have come to normal people, and they have also come to the worst of people in history. So we will begin first with our um, analysis of dreams that have come in the past to the oppressors or the tyrants of the history. And we look at two particularly important examples. These examples are of Namrud and Pharaoh. Now, Namrud was a king during the time of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, and he had a particular dream or a vision where he was shown that a new star is born, and the interpretation of that was that a new person will come or a new boy will be born who will uh, dethrone him or take away his kingdom from him. Similarly, Fir'aun from the time of Musa alayhi salam, he also had a dream where he saw that the fire that came from Beit al-Maqdis in Jerusalem, it destroyed everything except for the Bani Israel of that time. What we learn from these examples is that the two most well-known tyrannical leaders of the past, their dreams depicted an end to their kingdom, a reign that they claimed to superiority was ending. And these were the dreams which were divine inspirations to them that led them or that led these oppressive leaders to take certain steps which created a cascade of events and changed humanity for the future that was to come. Um, what we understand from this example is that the divine inspiration that comes from Allah doesn't always come to the people who are of prophetic nature or a wali of Allah. Allah has delivered divine messages even to the tyrants of the past. Then we look at the example of dreams of pious people, but not prophets. And the most prominent dream that we have is of the mother of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. And in this, we've got the references from Surah Al-Qasas, Ayah 7 and Ayah 71. And in this um, amazing wahi that comes to the mother of Prophet Musa alayhi salam, she is being reassured that she has to put her child in a basket and throw him in the river, and Allah will look after the baby. Now, based on many understandings from what the ulamas have interpreted, they have concluded that the wahi reference to the wahi in this scenario, in these ayah, is that to a form of a dream that was shown to um, Prophet Musa alayhi salam's mother. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick look to make sure that the audio is working and there's no issues. Okay, seems like that's good. So we'll continue. So Musa alayhi salam's mother acted with extraordinary courage and faith in complying with the directions that she had received in this inspiration or in this dream. A mother's love for her child is one of the greatest and most powerful feelings in the world. And it's unimaginable that a mother would put her child in a basket and send him floating down a great river like Nile. The technologies that existed back in those times, uh, we can't foresee them. We can't seem to understand them as to what we have now. But there was no way of rescuing this child once the child was in the river. So this shows that Musa alayhi salam's mother had an extraordinary faith in her sacred dream or her sacred inspiration that she got. And what was compelling in her dream was the inspiration that was shown to her. Allah knows best in the regard of what was shown and in what form it was shown. Um, but Musa alayhi salam's mother was not a prophet. She was a pious person. But she and her dreams and the way that she acted upon her dreams, they formed part of events that were meant to bring Musa alayhi salam to the Bani Israel and change the future of Egypt forever, change the history of Pharaoh and his people forever. And then similarly, we have the example of the king of Egypt during the time of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam or Prophet Joseph. In this story, we know that the king saw seven cows and fat cows and then the seven lean cows. And then this was famously interpreted by Yusuf alayhi salam. And then Yusuf alayhi salam became the chief or the financial chief for the king. And then the story sets in of how he was able to deliver the people of Bani Israel of that time. So once again, in this example that we have, the king was not a prophet, but he saw a divine inspiration or a divine dream. And had the king of Egypt not shared his dream with anyone or not acted upon the dreams, the Egypt or at that time the people of Egypt themselves would have faced a terrible famine and a horrible disaster. So it was truly Allah's plan and divine intervention in these historical contexts. And similarly, we have dreams of many Sahaba of the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and other dreams of the prophets that we won't have time to discuss today. But they show the importance of dreams and how they have shaped the religious history in our past. So, what we can conclude from these examples is that when it comes to dreams, dreams of blessed nature or uh, divine inspirations, these dreams are a way of communication from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is not necessary that these dreams come to a holy person or religious person. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who decides who Allah wants to show the stream to, and Allah does not choose or ask for an approval from me or you when it comes to making that decision. But nonetheless, these are some of the historical examples that we can look into which describe the importance of dreams, not just for the prophets, but the dreams that have shown divine inspirations and events for other people as well. And they include both oppressive leaders or tyrannical leaders, as well as pious human beings. Now, in the body of Hadith literature, which recounts many sayings and acts of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there have been sections assigned to dreams or visions, and they normally endorse that the view that is held is that there's benefit derived from good dreams, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself approved of the dreams and wished the Islamic community to take them seriously as a source of guidance. And we're going to have a look at some of these dreams, particularly the dream that the hadith, sorry, that relates to the mubashirat during the end times. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam clearly mentions here that when the time or end time draws near, hardly any believer will see a false dream. Now, this is an important part. Hardly any believer will see a false dream. And the ones who see the truest dream will be the ones who are truest in speech. And the dream of the believer is one of the 46 parts of prophecy. Now, this is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is the last prophet, who is the last Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is mentioning to the Ummah that the dreams of a believer during the end times are going to be important. And these dreams are 46 parts of the prophecy. So he's emphasizing on the importance of dreams that will come during the end times. And there are further hadiths about dreams. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, another Sahih hadith confirms that a good dream of a righteous man is one of the 46 parts of prophetism. And then there's another hadith that says during the end times or after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, nothing will be left of prophetism except al-mubashirat. And when the Sahabas asked the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam what it meant by al-mubashirat, he replied, "True dreams that convey glad tidings." And then we also have a very significant hadith that has been narrated many times and used by ulamas in explaining. And this hadith says, "Whoever has seen me in a dream, then no doubt he has seen me, for shaitan cannot imitate my shape." And there are also other narrations similar to this hadith which say that whoever seen Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a dream has indeed seen the truth. So, in concluding, the perspective of hadith is the Prophet, the last Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Khatimun Nabiyeen, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is emphasizing to the people, to the Sahaba of the time, to the Muslims of the time, leaving a message for future generations that al-mubashirat or dreams of a true believer will hardly be false during the closer to the end times, and they are part of prophetism that is going to continue in the future to come. Now, there's also been discussions by ulamas who have commented about seeing visions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dreams. And it is not something new that we hear about today. It is something that has been discussed throughout history. Prominent scholars, for example, Al-Baghawi, states in his book Shara as-Sunnah, and he says that if one sees Allah in a dream looking at him, then this reflects Allah's mercy. And if he sees Allah turning away from him, then it is a warning for one to shun the sins. And An-Nawawi, similarly, he explains in the book of Imam Muslim, explaining Al-Qadhi Iyad, saying that the scholars have agreed that it is possible to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a dream, and that the dream would be a true dream. Ibn Sirin, who's another notable scholar, he's noted as one of the most pious among the second generation of Muslims. He was highly respected in his lifetime as a transmitter of hadiths of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he states in his renowned book on interpretation of dreams that if one sees Allah Most High in talking secretly one with another person or the subject of the dream, then this means that that person is closer to Allah. If one sees Allah is advising one and giving one nasiha, then this alludes to the fact that Allah is not completely happy with one's actions. A glad tiding from Allah is a sign of Allah's pleasure, and admonition from Allah is a sign of His wrath and anger. So the points concerning visions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dreams or conversations with Allah or speaking with Allah, it's been well documented in the history, and prominent scholars have talked about this. So this is not something that is newly discovered or newly known, but this is something that exists as true, and it has happened, perhaps not just to the prophets, but also to pious people who have lived throughout the time. Now, there's another uh, well-known scholar who has shared his visions, and he claims to have also seen visions of Allah in dreams. His name is Sheikh Ibn Arabi, and there are many narrations about what he has seen and his experiences that you can find online. Now, having had this disclosure about dreams, how they have changed history, how they have uh, been divine inspirations coming to people that are not just prophets, and then the importance of hadiths or the importance of dreams that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has left for us to understand and to uh, sort of remember when it comes to the end times. We now look at why Muhammad Qasim's dreams are important. What is the message in Muhammad Qasim's dreams, and how this relates back to the important messages that have been in the past in other dreams. As I've mentioned previously in my lectures as well, that Muhammad Qasim's dreams are very unique. They are not just dreams about you and I, the things that we see uh, in general, but his dreams are about the Muslim Ummah in wider nation. And Muhammad Qasim's dreams are about how Islam will rise again, how Pakistan will rise again. He's also seen the construction of Dajjal's palace in Palestine. He's also seen the events of Ghazwa Hind. He's also seen Malhamatul Kubra, which is the um, final war that happens before Qiyamah. In Islamic eschatology, there's a lot of discussions about this war. Muhammad Qasim says that this war is World War III that will happen. Then Muhammad Qasim has also seen war with Dajjal in his dreams, the arrival of Isa alayhi salam, and the Yajuj and Majuj, and the day of Qiyamah. Now, these are just some broad topics that concern Muhammad Qasim's dreams, but Muhammad Qasim has also seen events that have already occurred today about other people that have come true exactly as he has seen them. Now, the visions shown to Muhammad Qasim actually include details of events that will happen that have, as we know, have been described in other hadiths. Muhammad Qasim actually sees these visions as he's present in those events as they are happening. The visions and messages that have been delivered to Muhammad Qasim, they have been delivered through Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam appearing in his dreams, and also in his dreams where he's had conversations with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Muhammad Qasim says that he has seen dreams where he's seen Allah's presence over 500 times, and he's seen dreams in which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was present over 300 times. And Muhammad Qasim has been seeing these visions from an age of about 12 or 13 years old. This was a very long time ago. Now he's 45 years old, but he only started sharing these dreams when he was instructed by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a dream in 2014. So not so long ago, he was instructed to share his dreams, and in that particular dream, Muhammad Qasim says that. Um, he was told by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he has to share his dreams to save Islam and to save Muslim Ummah. Now, a lot of people have also perhaps constructed a conspiracy about Muhammad Qasim that he is a establishment of political agenda, which is not the case. Muhammad Qasim didn't hasn't shared his dreams now to become popular. If he really wanted to, he would have done that in his youth. He could have become a peer or a baba. He could have made a lot of money from his dreams, as you see, which is in the subcontinent. There are many people who have established empires uh, based on their connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Muhammad Qasim's intention was not that about sharing his dreams. In fact, Muhammad Qasim maintains that his help and his support is only from Allah, and he only ever seeks help from Allah. He doesn't ask anyone for his help. When he started sharing his dreams, when people came to into contact with him, they wanted to help him with money and with other areas of support, but he did not want any of those things. And this is something that, from a character of Muhammad Qasim, we find that he has been truthful about what he has seen and what he has narrated. He's been honest and he lays his trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Muhammad Qasim says that Allah and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have told him in his dreams to share his dreams with the public. So he just wants to be a friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and nothing more. Now, a little bit about Muhammad Qasim, based on my personal experience, I found him to be a very humble, a very innocent human being. He's very shy, and my personal experience of uh, having discussions with him, I found him to be one of the purest people that I've come across throughout my lifetime so far. And mind you, other people who have met Muhammad Qasim have also had the same experience about him. Now, we're looking at Muhammad Qasim's dreams and a little bit more into the specific messages that Muhammad Qasim's dreams have for the Muslim Ummah, for the Muslim scholars, for the Muslim leaders. And I have taken some parts of these dreams to illustrate my message to you today. I hope that this enlightens you to have a look at Muhammad Qasim's dreams in more detail. But we will look at how Muhammad Qasim describes seeing the visions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what messages Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent in Muhammad Qasim's dreams. So Muhammad Qasim says that his visions about Allah, he sees Allah uh, more often in his dreams, and he's never seen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with his own eyes, but he has felt that Allah is present on the Arsh al-Azim, and he more often hears the voice from behind a veil. The voice would sometimes descend from the sky, or he would see an incredible light or a nur sometimes. That is magnificent voice comes from the nur. Now, as far as the nur is concerned, Muhammad Qasim says that he doesn't want to say that the nur is Allah, but he wants to say that rather the nur is a creation of Allah, or a version of the Nur that Allah has created. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is far beyond everything to be classified as Nur. Allah is the creator of Nur, and Allah's voice that He finds is unbelievable. In many times that I have had a discussion with Him, He says that the experience that He has in the dreams, He cannot describe it in His words. And Muhammad Qasim says that in 2007, or since 2007, Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam began to guide Muhammad Qasim spiritually, and he received many instructions about things he should do, things he should avoid. Before that, he was not as much a practicing Muslim, but since he had received these instructions and these advices, he has changed the way that he is, and he's improved himself as a human being, as a Muslim. Most importantly, Muhammad Qasim was shown that the different forms of shirk and how to avoid these forms of shirk. This has been illustrated to him as the most important aspect to improve his character, to improve himself, and to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muhammad Qasim says that in 2015, Muhammad Qasim saw a dream where Allah said to Muhammad Qasim that Qasim, as Quran is my word, and if Satan or Jinn or all the creation, including humans combined together, they cannot create a single ayah. Similarly, like that, the dreams which I have shown you, these dreams have been created by me, Allah, and if shaitan, jinn, and humans combine together, even then they won't be able to create such a dream. And neither can shaitan show such a dream to anyone. These dreams are from Allah, Lord of all the worlds. Now, a very profound and powerful dream of Muhammad Qasim that he's seen, and this encapsulates a very important message for the Muslim Ummah, particularly the scholars, for them to understand what importance there is that exists in Muhammad Qasim's dreams. Muhammad Qasim goes on to say that in 2015, Muhammad Qasim saw Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He saw him 3 times in the same night, and the message was the same in all those dreams. He saw that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very worried, and he was walking back and forth in that concern. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Muhammad Qasim that Qasim, convey this message to the whole ummah. Qasim, whoever stands with you is just like a person standing with me, and whoever supports you is just like a person supporting me, and he will be with me on the day of judgment. On another dream in 2015, Muhammad Qasim saw that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, Qasim, convey this message of mine to my whole ummah, that whoever supports you and stands with you is just like a person who is standing with me and is supporting me. This is my Islam. And since you are doing everything because Allah and I said so, the message that has to come through will be the important message for the Muslim Ummah. Now, once again, another powerful dream of Muhammad Qasim where he is seen Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his dream delivering these specific messages to you and to me to make us aware of the importance of Muhammad Qasim's dreams. Now, we have tried to reach many ulamas and scholars across the world about Muhammad Qasim's dreams. Many of these ulamas have a prominent stature. A lot of them are from local sanctuaries in different countries. We have explained the concept of the dreams that have been seen by Muhammad Qasim, but most of these ulamas, they have failed to understand the urgency and the importance of the message of Muhammad Qasim's dreams. In fact, many haven't even considered to look through Muhammad Qasim's dreams, which is unfortunate. Uh, the fact that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has appeared in Muhammad Qasim's dream and asked him to deliver the message to us, I think this holds a very significant importance, at least for us to investigate if we don't want to act upon Muhammad Qasim's dreams or the message of his dreams, but at least to investigate and understand about Muhammad Qasim's dreams. And as a duty to Islam, we are ought to do this for Muhammad Qasim Sheen, especially when these instructions have been presented in the Quran and the Hadith, as we come to understand after reading the references that we have presented earlier. Now, even in the Quran, Allah has mentioned on numerous occasions about the importance of dreams and the importance of investigating news when it comes. There's a surah there's an ayah in Surah Yunus, ayah 64, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for them are glad tidings in the life of the present world and in the hereafter. So when the Sahaba asked the question from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is the meaning of glad tidings? And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam responded that those are the good dreams that a Muslim sees or are seen about him. And in another ayah in Surah Rum, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, and among Allah's signs are the one that is your sleeping and your seeking of His bounty by night and day. Behold, there are sure signs in this for people who would listen. And then there's an ayah that I found very interesting, which I thought I would mention, having discussed character of Muhammad Qasim, that Allah mentions in the Quran that obey those who ask of no wages of you and who are rightly guided. Now, that is upon us for us to judge, and the only way that we will be able to judge is if we investigate things properly, we understand things properly. Um, Also, another ayah that asks us to investigate. This is Surah Hujurat, ayah 6. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O you who have believed, in case an immoral person comes to you with a tiding, then ascertain the evidence for that you may afflict a person or people in ignorance. And then you may become remorseful for what you have performed. Now, on the tafsir of this ayah, there have been stories that many ulamas have discussed, but the specific knowledge or a specific message of this ayah is that when a message comes to you, whether it is good or bad in that sense, investigate it in case you may do something, or you may choose to say something, or you may choose to not take action about something, and that particular thing that you did may not be correct, and you would become remorseful or regretful over it. So we've seen that these contexts, the historical aspect of the dreams and how they've shaped history, the importance of dreams that is mentioned in the Quran, is specifically backed up by the hadiths of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about dreams that are related to the end times and the messages that we have seen in Muhammad Qasim's dreams. This really makes a case for us Muslims, for us to be able to understand the message of these dreams. Now, especially like I've mentioned in my previous discussions, especially the fact that Muhammad Qasim's dreams have come true about Imran Khan, who was the now the ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan. But Muhammad Qasim saw very specific events about Imran Khan's leadership from the beginning when he started to the end when he was ousted from his leadership. All of those dreams of Muhammad Qasim came true exactly as he saw them. And these dreams about Imran Khan coming true are an evidence for you and I. This is a let's say, a conclusion for you and I to tick the box to say Muhammad Qasim's dreams are true, and the way that they have arrived, they definitely have an important message for the Ummah. Especially the two dreams that we have looked at of Muhammad Qasim, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has delivered a specific message to the Muslim Ummah, you and me, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has delivered a specific message to you and me. So the fact that Muhammad Qasim's dreams are coming true, and not just about Imran Khan, but his dreams about the wider Muslim Ummah, the situation in Palestine last year, and the situation that people of Kashmir experienced. Um, Many people are actually recognizing the truth in Muhammad Qasim's dreams. And many people are recognizing the truth in Muhammad Qasim's dreams, and there's a growing number of people from Indonesia and Malaysia, as I've mentioned before. They include prominent scholars. If you go on to YouTube, all you have to do is search Muhammad Qasim Mimpi. Mimpi is the word for dreams in the Indo-Malay language, and you will find so much content from scholars about Muhammad Qasim's dreams and them recognizing the importance of Muhammad Qasim's dreams and explaining them in the context of Hadith about the end times. Um, it is also important for me to mention here that uh, as people are coming to understand or know about Muhammad Qasim's dreams, there are also some people who have seen their own dreams and inspirations about Muhammad Qasim. Some of them have just seen in their dreams some voice call out to them, Muhammad Qasim, find him, or they have seen in their dreams Muhammad Qasim and his image, and they have never met Muhammad Qasim before. They're in a different corner of the world, and they have somehow come to find Muhammad Qasim. So these are indications that are going out to the Muslim Ummah that live today in different parts of the world for them to find Muhammad Qasim or to uh, find the message to do with Muhammad Qasim. And there are also a lot of other people who have seen more descriptive dreams about Muhammad Qasim and his role in the future for the Muslim Ummah. While we are discussing this context about how other people are having inspirations about Muhammad Qasim, it is also important for us to reflect on the fact that when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was getting his first revelations and was beginning to spread his message, there are stories of the Sahaba who experienced visions and dreams about the coming of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some of them did not know Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in person, but they were given a divine inspirations to go and find Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there are many books that will describe these in details. Unfortunately, we don't have time today to cover them, but I do encourage you to go and find the divine dreams and inspirations of the Sahabas that led them to find Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, in conclusion of my speech today, I strongly urge the Muslim Ummah, you in particular, and if you have, please convey this message to your family members, to your friends, to your colleagues, to your local Muslim scholars and leaders. And with great respect to the scholars and leaders, I duly asked, please investigate Muhammad Qasim's dreams and understand the dreams. There is great evidence and literature in the Quran and the Hadith. The scholars are aware of it, they understand it. The dreams of Muhammad Qasim have a very important message for the Muslim Ummah, and the role that Muhammad Qasim perhaps is going to play in the future is going to be a more important personality or a more important role in the future, and we have to understand where these dreams fit. What we seem to understand from Muhammad Qasim's dreams is that the advent of Dajjal, the time of Isa alayhi salam, this will come in our lifetime. Now, is it not important for us to be aware and to be prepared for the events that will happen? I think all the scholars are very much aware of the final major signs of Qiyamah. And for us not to take heed of the message that has been delivered to us, this would be a great failure for us. So I strongly urge and encourage you to investigate Muhammad Qasim's dreams and learn more about them. If you have a doubt, do istikhara. This is a established way that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us or left instructions for us. And I can tell you that there are many people who have now come to believe in Muhammad Qasim's dreams, who have now become to support Muhammad Qasim's dreams, that they have done istikhara and they have been convinced through the process of istikhara about Muhammad Qasim and his dreams. Now, I'd like to have a look at some of the questions that may be discussed here. Anyone? It doesn't look like there's anything here. Wa alaikum assalam. Yes, I can see a comment here saying beard is not a surety of honesty, but if someone tells the truth, there that is very important. That is very, very true. As I have explained in this live discussion that we've had, that dreams or divine inspirations don't come to people with beard only. They have come to people who have been the worst of humans' history. They've come to Namrud and Fir'aun, and we have seen the examples of that in the past. So it is purely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Allah to decide where or how Allah is going to deliver the message that Allah wants to. Um, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone who has shared his life. Why is Muhammad Qasim not live? Why haven't you brought him live? Now, Muhammad Qasim, as I mentioned to you, he's a very shy person. He's not comfortable coming in public. He's only seen the dreams that he has seen and he has shared them on. Inshallah, we will continue to discuss this with him, and perhaps, inshallah, we will have a question and answer session with him, and we are working on that. So we will inform you when the time comes from for that, inshallah. Okay. Muhammad Qasim did not bring new teachings. There is nothing in this dream that is against Islamic Sharia. Yes, that is very, very correct. Like I have mentioned to you, a dream of Muhammad Qasim in 2015. He saw that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Muhammad Qasim that because Muhammad Qasim is doing the work for uh, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's Islam, uh, that is the reason why the people who will support Muhammad Qasim, it will be like they have supported Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, it's very important that Muhammad Qasim does not bring a new addition to Islam. This is not Ahmadiyya. This is not what people have somehow found to believe. This is not a new religion. This is about the true message of Islam, the message of Islam that existed at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It will be very kind if Dr. Zakir Naik, Sheikh Hudais, and Jama Al Azhar University Sheikh will give their opinion. Yes, we really want to, and we hope that they do so after having discussion and reading and understanding Muhammad Qasim's dreams. As you have seen and heard about the importance of dreams in the Quran and Hadith, I'm sure that the scholars are very much aware of this. And now that Muhammad Qasim's dreams are coming true, it is important for them to understand the message in Muhammad Qasim's dreams. In fact, I encourage you all to go on to the channels of these popular scholars and ulamas, or if you have their contact numbers, contact them and please urge them to find Muhammad Qasim and investigate more about Muhammad Qasim's dreams. Okay, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, left this world and Islam was complete in form of Holy Quran and Hadith. No further person was needed to bring Prophet Muhammad's message further on. Uh, well, my brother, there are hadiths of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he has mentioned that the Islam will get weak during or closer to the end times, and this has been commented upon by many ulamas. You only have to go and see what the things that ulamas say. Do they not hold a important place in the message of Islam? And as I've mentioned here earlier, that Muhammad Qasim is not bringing any new addition to Islam. This is the message of his dreams is about implementing true Islam as it existed during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's no addition to it. There's no change to it. Okay. Now, I think that concludes everything. I thank everyone who have joined in our live session today. Now, next week we are going to give a break and then we'll continue from the following Sunday, which is Sunday the 19th, inshallah. Until then, I hope that the message of this video is clear and it helps us all understand Muhammad Qasim's dreams in the context of the Quran and Hadith. And I wish good health and blessings of Allah upon you and your family. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the right path and keep us amongst the best of the ummah, inshallah ta'ala. Uh, until next time, take care and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.